Good morning. Here's my morning view today. I hope yours is just as good or better. Today we are discussing the 7 things you need to know before selling your Vancouver home. So I've touched on these each individually at length, but this is kind of a short 7 steps of what is needed in our opinion of what you need to take care of and look into before selling your home here in Vancouver, or in general really. First step, decide it's a good time to sell. We've touched on this before. We try and obviously always keeping market conditions in mind. We try and, in the essence of not gambling on the real estate market as our kind of foundation in this talk, it's always about when is best for you to sell by way of a growing family, changing jobs, fundamentals of the neighborhood changing, and all these details. So we try and go down those personal details around selling before the market fundamentals. Depending when you purchased, obviously this could put you in the green or red depending how long you've owned for at the end of the day. But if again you've purchased any time in the last handful of years, the chances of you being in the green right now in a move are pretty positive. So we'll leave that one there. Number 2, finding a great realtor. Of course, we've gone into this at length, interviewing agents, interviewing multiple agents, finding out what they're going to do for you, what they're going to cost to do that, and really who you fundamentally believe you can work well with, who you trust, someone that you see eye to eye on the path moving forward, and really getting to the bottom of who that agent is and what he or she can do for you, and making sure that, again, they're competent and on the same page as you and your expectations. Number 3, calculate your costs. This is always kind of seems like a last minute for people that I speak to, but always calculate your costs in the form of what it's going to cost for your agents, for the marketing, what's it going to cost to break your mortgage. That's a common one that people let slip by. Conveyancing costs are usually pretty cheap, under $1,000 for a sale, but the main ones being any applicable tax. If it is your principal residence, there's obviously the access away from taxes, income, capital gains taxes there, but if that gets more technical, then I mean, either way, we always suggest speaking to your accountant first to find out what the possible tax implications are. But yeah, really outlay your costs, make a spreadsheet and break it down so there's no surprises anywhere along the way. Number 4, what's next? After this, kind of finding these fundamentals, can you afford what you want to move into? Checking the market that you want to move to simultaneously as checking the market that you're currently looking to leave is very important. You don't want to obviously sell first and move forward. Likewise, you want to see the climate of both markets and maybe not buy first and then sell after. Really judge on that general, because there's risk with each and stresses with each, of course. If you buy first, then sell your principal, or sell your principal first, then buy. They each can have their benefits, but obviously at a potential risk with each. So really get down to what the markets are doing, where you are and where you want to be, and what your comfort level is leaving this market, if securing a place beforehand is more beneficial, or simply selling first, knowing how much money you have in the bank, and then moving out from there. Repairs, always do repairs before you show the property. You don't want an inspection to bring up any stupid little things that you could have easily fixed beforehand. So we always suggest, once you go to market, once you've decided to go to market, make those repairs of the home. If it's patches, if it's you have appliances that are kind of wonky and may not be working properly, just get it all done so there's no loopholes for the buyers of your property to try and come back and either charge you more money in the sense of adjustments of price than it's actually worth, or possibly lose the deal if you've got an extremely picky buyer. Because of that, it's just a lot easier and cleaner if all the repairs are done and the product is ready to go and just be handed over from day one. Cut the clutter. This is always a must-have. For the most part, if people have been living in homes for a long time, there's accumulation of stuff, we like to call it, personalized mostly, but just stuff. So always, the more decluttered the property, the better. You may have to fill your garage, excuse me, or storage unit, or rent another storage locker for the sales process timeline. It'll pay you back in spades if you do so, because you really want to make sure that that home is clean, crisp, and really so people can walk in and understand the space. And if there's too much stuff bombarding their imagination, it's hard for them to perceive themselves living there. So cutting clutter is huge. Cleaning out the closets, always remember that the closets are looked at as well. This is part of anyone's life storage. So don't just jam your closets filled with stuff. Move the stuff off-site that you're storing, and keep in mind that the closets are definitely part of what someone is buying, because people have clothes, people have stuff, and you never know how much stuff they're gonna need and be judging your space on by way of how much storage there actually is. Pet peeves, obviously, as pet friendly as Vancouver is, no one wants to smell them when they walk into your home. No one wants to see a filled litter box when they look in the office. So get these things out. Can be inconvenient, of course. Put them out in the car for the time being. All the pet materials, I mean, and just try and make it less pet, I guess, odor friendly. Cutting a trace of all that sort of, obviously if there's pictures of your dog on the wall and all this sort of stuff, that's fine. No one dislikes pets for the most part, but just no one wants to walk into an open and smell your pet the first thing, overwhelm those senses before they even get a chance to step in and have a look at the place. Setting the stage. Staging on any degree is, I'm losing you here, is sometimes necessary. If it's a full stage, that's fine. If it's just a partial or a declutter and a fluff up, that's great as well. But really knowing that, leaning on your realtor's perspective on this, and if staging is needed, really taking into consideration why they're suggesting it's needed and to what degree they're suggesting it's needed, because those things can definitely really help. I'm going to leave it at that right now. We're almost 7 minutes, trying to keep it at 5 these days. Jay@McInnesMarketing.com, 604-771-4606 if you want any more perspective on these 7 things you must know before selling your Vancouver home. Thank you guys, and I will leave you with this view again. Enjoy the day.